All right, guys, so we got to have a serious conversation. When are these prices going to really start dropping like we expect them to? You know, we were told months ago that these prices on 2023, almost 2-year-old Chargers and Challengers, were going to start dropping significantly. I'm talking about like pre-COVID 2015, 2016 era. Back when the Scatpack's MSRP was 40,000 and the Hellcats MSRP was 69,000. When are we going to see those prices ever again before it's all said and done? Or are we ever going to see these prices? Some dealerships are giving 5, 6, 7,000 off. Some are giving 11. But if the MSRP on a Scat Pack is 65,000 and you're only giving me 5,000, I'm still paying 60,000 for a Scat Pack that originally was 40,000, in 2015. So it's one of those things like, is it Dodge being greedy? Is it the dealerships being greedy? When are these prices going to start dropping? Because eventually the 2025s are going to be on the lot. And you're going to have almost 3.5, 4 years worth of cars sitting on the dealership lot. And then what are you going to do? Let's talk about it. What's up, guys? It's your boy Knockout 360 here with another video, man. So you can tell I'm in a house that makes this a house vlog. You know what's going down. Come around. Let's get into it. Car content, car shows, car reviews, car meets. Anything and everything car related happens on this channel. So if you're into that, make sure that you stick around. For everyone else, hit that subscribe button as well as that notification bell so that you know what's coming out and when it's coming out. So let's go ahead and I'm gonna take you straight to my computer here. So prices are, and I'll admit this, they are starting to drop. So I mean, as you can see, all of the green prices here is basically prices that have dropped for a lot of these cars, right? You'll see, like in this case, this looks like a slim body Hellcat. This is at South Charlotte, so this is in Charlotte, Pineville. MSRP 88,000, they want 81. So they giving you what, 7,000 off, 7,000 and change off. This one's holding strong. So it's like some dealerships are going to come down, some are not. This particular dealership, they want 58 for it. They still want 58 for it because this is the Hemi Orange package. This dealership, even used, they still want 52. This is a swinger package. But then you look at this dealership, Scat Pack, but it's a slim body, was MSRP 63, so it's 58. This is 66, 61, 60, 55, 60, 55, 65. They want 58. As you can see here, it goes on and on and on. And these are, of course, are used type of cars. Or no, this one's not used. So they actually wanted 49,000 for RT, but now they're just asking for 36. So, I mean, in some cases, you can see up to $15,000. And then for the Hellcats, let's see here. Let's look at what a Hellcat is right now. '23 Hellcat, so I mean, boom. We already talked about that one. They want 95. A lot of these are slim bodies. I don't know why. I guess these are the only ones that they're coming down off of because here's a wide body and they still want 95. 95, they want 90. Here's a slim body again, 87, they want 80. 85, they want 78. So the prices are dropping slowly. But it's almost one of those things like we're coming up against the end of the year for one thing here. And what happens at the end of the year, like I know, the new generation of cars come out. So the 23s came out last year, or the year before last. The year before last going into last year. So the 23s have already been out. The 24s are already on the lot, right? And we're talking about 24 Jeep Grand Cherokees and Rams and so on and so forth. But the 24 Charger is set to come out within the next couple months here. So we're talking about, what is it, September now, October. We're possibly looking at late October, November for the 24s to come out. And then, of course, by December, they'll already be out. So you'll have your electric, your inline six, and then you'll still have Hellcats and Scat Packs, Hemis, right, RTs. And then, of course, when 2025 hit, middle of the year, you'll have your 25s. So you'll have 23, 24, and 25. And if you look at some of the Rams, some dealerships still have 22s left on the lots. So it's one of those things like, I mean, at this point, the prices are coming down for some dealerships, but not all of them. Some dealerships are still holding true. Like you just saw what I pointed out here, some of these dealerships still want MSRP for a lot of these cars. So it's like, when are these prices going to finally start coming down for everyone to get what they want, how they want it? Now, of course, we can't order these cars anymore, so you can't customize them. But there's still a lot of people that want what they would call brand new Chargers and Challenge, even though they're a year old at this point. But, you know, a lot of people have brought up, is it greed? Is it greed on behalf of Dodge? Is it greed on behalf of the dealership? I mean, when you look at it, there are certain dealerships that are greedy, without a doubt. And there are certain greedy dealerships that prey on the ignorance of the consumer. And I say that to say, so, I mean, you know that Dodge just dropped the 2025 Durango SRT Hellcat Silver Bullet, and then they got the Hammerhead. Well, look at what they cost, what the MSRP of a Silver Bullet is, $115. Do you know what you get different for that? You get a different interior color, and that's literally it. Like, that's the only thing that's different. And then you get a black painted hood that's already black painted. Everything else is the same. The rims are the same, Brembos are the same, the Hemi engine is the same, everything's the same, but Dodge is still offering an MSRP at $115. Now, the reason that that's interesting is because there are still some people out there that will look at that and say, that's not a bad deal. 710 horsepower, 7-seater, 3-row SUV, all-wheel drive for $115, I can do that. So there are some people that will walk onto a Dodge dealership and see a $65,000 Scat Pack and say, that's not a bad price, I can do that. Or a $100,000 Hellcat Charger and say, I can actually do that. Or in this case, a $115,000 Durango that looks like every other Durango Hellcat before it and say, I can actually do that. I want a Silver Bullet. So there are certain greedy dealerships out there that will prey on your ignorance, right? Because it's one of those things like you haven't done your homework, so you don't know what other dealerships have. And two, you know for a fact that they're charging way over MSRP for these cars, considering the fact that you can go out and get a Durango Hellcat brand new for less than $100,000, depending on where you go if you really did your homework. So there are certain greedy dealerships out there that are just being greedy and they're preying on your ignorance. That's not all of them though. When you think about it, a lot of these dealerships still have quite a few 23s, and I'm talking about Chargers and Challengers here, right? They have a lot of 23s, a lot of 23 Chargers and Challengers. If a particular dealership has, I don't know, 20, 30, 40% that are still 2023 Chargers and Challengers, all the way from V6 up to Hellcats, up to, you know, Red Eyes and so on and so forth, they can't just give you $5, $10, $15, $20,000 off of each one of those cars because they're trying to get rid of them. They've made a certain amount of an investment in those cars when they purchased them or when they, you know, flooded their dealership lots with those cars. They have to make some sort of return on those cars, which is why a lot of dealerships are trying to hold true to a lot of these MSRPs. Like they'll give you a nickel a dime here, 3, 5, 6, 7,000, but they can't give you 10, 15, 20 because it's like, I can't give you $15,000, $20,000 off of all the 23s because 30% of my stock here are 2023s. So at 30% of my stock that's on the lot, $20,000 off of each one of those cars, I'm taking big L's, big L's. I'm losing a lot of money. So a lot of dealerships, especially the smaller ones, or maybe even the big ones may suffer the most because it's like, you know, you got the cost of operation, you got, you know, all sorts of debts, liabilities, and so on and so forth that they've got to pay for. They can't just discount $20,000, $30,000 off of each and every 2023 for the sake of getting rid of them. They still have to make some sort of profit, which is why a lot of dealerships are just offering these cars at MSRP. No markup, no BS, you know, dealer fees or anything like that. No BS dealer markups. Just take it at MSRP, right? If the MSRP, like looking at this Charger RT Scat Pack wide body, if the MSRP is $61,622, I'm going to charge you $61,622. I'm not charging you 62 or 65. Now, rewind this time last year in the summer, this 6122 would look more like 68 or 69 or maybe even 70 because they were charging the markups on the top of that, you know? But now it's one of those things like a lot of dealerships are just getting rid of these cars at MSRP at worst. And at best, they may give you, in this scenario, $7,000 off. This looks like a slim body Challenger Hellcat. It was $87,385. They want $83,995. So they're giving you $7,000 off, a little under $7,000 off, you know? But it's one of those things like if you rewind the clock to 2015, which I understand, you know, our economy was different, country was different, everything was different. The MSRP for a Hellcat Charger slim body, even a Challenger slim body, was $69,000. So from $69,000 to, what are they asking for? $80,000? And what, I mean, you get 10 more horsepower from a 2015 to a 2023. I think they gave you 10 more horsepower, so it's 717 instead of 707. That's why a lot of people are having issues. They're having issues making that connection. It's like, why are you charging me almost, what, 10,000 over? What was that? What was that? I just had it up. Yeah. 40,000. Boom. Just had it up. Yeah. Why are you charging me almost $10,000 plus for 10 extra horsepower just because it's a 23 as opposed to a 2015? And that's a good example because that's a slim body Challenger to a slim body 2015 Challenger. So 69 is what it was in 2015. And now it's technically 87, but they're giving you 7 off. So, I mean, you know, there's a lot that goes into this. So, yeah, getting back to my point, a lot of these dealerships, they can't offer you 20, 30,000 because then they're taking L's themselves. They're suffering themselves. So it's one of those things like they have to give it to you at MSRP, or at best, at the most we can take off the top is 5, 6, 7,000. We can't go back to 2015. You know, we can't give you 69,000 on a Hellcat and 40,000 on the Scatpack. We just can't, because at that point the dealership is taking major losses. So that's another reason a lot of dealerships are holding true to their prices, is between greed and ignorance, taking advantage of other people's ignorance. And then a lot of dealerships, they just can't take those massive L's like that. They can't lose that amount of money. What else did I want to talk about? You know, so it's one of those things like if you're on the Dodge dealership and you see something that works for you right now, if it works in your price range, you see like in this case, 2023 Scatpack Charger, 6,000 miles. So obviously, technically it's you. 6,000 is nothing. That's, you know, 5,000 over the break-in period, right? 51.5, you can probably talk them down to 49. That's not a bad price at all. That's getting back to the old 2015 prices right there. If you can get a wide body Scatpack for 51.5, I remember buying my Scatpack for 47. Now mine was basic. I had no sunroof, cloth interior. That was it. No, you know, special speakers, nothing. But still, either way, if you can talk them down to 48, 47 for a Charger that's got 6,000 miles, that's a good deal. So I'm saying that to say, if you see a deal on the dealership lot that works for you right now, you go to Carvana in Charlotte and you see this for 51.5 and this works for you, then do it. Otherwise, the alternative is continuing to waiting till the 2024s and the 2025s drop. Because, you know, in my approximation, I don't think that they're going to sell all of these 23s by the end of the year. So 9 times out of 10, these 23s are still going to be on the lot, even in 2025. At that point, it becomes dire, right? Like I've got 23s, the 24s that came at the end of the year, and then 25s moving into the new year. So I've got 3 generations or 3 years worth of Chargers that I got to get rid of, Challengers that I got to get rid of. Well, not Challengers, because you know they're not making the Challengers in the future, but 3 years worth of Mopars that I've got to get rid of. And so that's when the prices for the 23s get dire. Like, listen, just come and pick it up. Just give us a tip. Give us $10, $15. Give us something. You know what I'm saying? Give us a good rating on Yelp or the internet. Just take the car. Just leave. Like, they're trying to give them away at this point. You can always wait like that. Or, like I said, if you see something on the lot that works for you right now, jump on it. Because it's one of those things like something has to give. They can't keep these prices the way that they are going towards the end of 2024 into the beginning of 25. It just doesn't work. The 24s are going to be dropping on the dealership lots, if not next month in October, November, December at the latest. So you're going to have 24s coming this year towards the end of the year. 2025, you're going to have 25s dropping too. So a lot of dealerships are going to look at it like, in order for us to make room for new inventory of the future of Dodge, Chargers and Challenger, well, Chargers anyway, we have to get rid of these goddamn ICE cars, right? Internal combustion engines. We got to get rid of these Hemis and V6 Pentastars in 2023s. We've got to get rid of them somehow, some way. And then at that point, they may get so desperate to where it's like, listen, just come and get it. So you got a couple of things working for you depending on how patient you are. If you could be patient enough to just wait until everything collapses. When I say collapses, I'm talking about collapses for the 23s to the point the dealerships are just giving these away. giving these away. If you can wait that long, that's fine as well. If you go in the dealership lot and you see something that works for you right now, jump on that. But that's kind of the rationale behind why a lot of dealerships are not coming up off of the prices the way we expected. Because I think I did a video a couple months ago where I basically said that a lot of these cars are going to be dropping to the point that they look like 2015, like when they first came out. 40,000 for Scats, 65, 70,000 for Cats, 80,000 for Cats. We haven't seen that yet. We've seen 5, 6, 7,000, 11,000 in some cases, but the 11,000 is generally for, you know, the expensive Hellcat. So you're going from what, 95 to like 83 type deal. So it's like you're getting the deal, but you're still paying 83,000 for a Dodge Charger or Challenger. But it's one of those things like they haven't dropped enough. 5, 6, 7,000 is good. 10, 15, 20,000 is better, which is what we want to hear and what we want to see, but we're not seeing thus far. And I told you, it's a combination of some dealerships are greedy. Dodge is greedy, obviously, right? Dodge had this big plan that, oh, we can sell these cars for any price. People are going to buy them. Well, you know, factor in where the economy is right now, inflation. I think the interest rate actually just went down a half a percent. So things should be getting better in the future for auto loans and car prices and shit like that. But in the past couple months, weeks, whatever, interest rates been through the roof, inflation. A lot of people are not making these big money decisions to go out and buy $79,000 Scat Packs and $119,000. That's crazy. $119,000 Durango SRTs. Like, people are not making these types of decisions in this economy right now. So a lot of things have backfired for Dodge. But to your advantage, like I said, go in the dealership lot, see what you like. If it works, do it, or just keep waiting. Because eventually, they have to drop. Something has to give. They can't keep selling 2023 Durango Hellcats into 25 for $119,000. No way, no how. That makes no sense whatsoever. So something's got to give. It's just a matter of timing. It's just going to take more time. I thought that by now we would be seeing, major price drops. Some dealerships are, some dealerships are not. Across the board, we just got to wait. We just got to wait. But that's what it is, guys. Like I said, if you're in the market right now, we're still in the market for a 23 Charger Challenger, do some homework. Go from dealership to dealership. I mean, this is Charlotte, North Carolina right here. So, I mean, you can look at the prices. Look at all the green. So the green is basically letting you know what's been taken off from original MSRP. A lot of these dealerships are coming down. They're just not coming down fast enough, which is fine because it's a waiting game. You know what I'm saying? If you wait on it, it will happen. As always, like, subscribe, comment, talk to your boy, man. Why is Dodge refusing to come down off of these prices faster? Peace.